Hey, Uncle Orley here. This is going to be the first of a number of videos that will document all the homes we've lived in over time. We've had 6 of them, moving around with corporate moves and all. And this home is the home we had in Loveland, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cincinnati. And it was the 17 years we lived in Cincinnati when I worked in the general offices. This home was arguably the ugliest home that I have ever purchased. Long story short, I don't trust real estate people. I told this person what our limit was. I knew she would go over the limit, and this was the last house on the first day that she showed us. She said, "Oh, it's just a little over the limit." And I said, "Well, let's just not go." But of course we went. We pulled up the driveway. It's kind of a panhandle lot. You'll see the plot later. And I looked at this house and I shook my head. I said, "That is the ugliest house I've ever seen. We can just turn around." Of course, you can imagine what Kathy had to say. "What a beautiful piece of property. Let's go look." Well, we bought it. And there it is. You can see the house. T111 covering all the walls. What is that roof over the front door? I don't get it. You can see here the driveway coming up as we were there the very first day. So the house is really kind of weird as you look at it here. The kitchen was on the right, and there's a bedroom on the left. There's a couple bedrooms upstairs, but you really can't tell what the house is like. Very kind of 70s something or other. I don't know. It's pretty ugly. Anyway, there's Kath and Nate on that day when we went to look at the house. And of course, Nate at that age will be in just about every picture. These are the initial pictures that we took. So that's the driveway as you come up, and it goes over to the garage, and then a little spot to park in the front. And you can see the pond that we shared with a number of other homes as well. So this is a panhandle lot set back on the back edge of the pond. From the street, looking back, you can see the garage. And we'll just kind of go around the side of the house. So as you look at the side of the house, you can see the front of the house. We're on the left side as you face the house. Is just a couple of bedrooms upstairs. And then it goes back. So the master bedroom is what Nate's standing in front of there. And a little play area out front that all got torn out. Another kind of angle view of the front of the house, garage on the side. And another one of the pond. Okay, so there was a pool. Like everybody who goes to Cincinnati needs a pool, right? This was our 3rd pool, so I didn't argue about it. Not a bad pool, just had to shut it down every year. Nice piece of property, about 1.5 acres, and this is the back portion of the property. There was a big hill that went down towards the next piece of property, and we had a nice creek that kind of separated our property from the properties behind us. All right, another shot of the backyard. You can see the back of the pool there. This will all make sense later when you see all the changes. Okay, so as we're coming around, kind of going around the house, if you were looking down, you're going around clockwise, coming around the back door. This is an addition that was added years ago. I'm looking at the pictures here in case you're wondering why I keep looking that direction. So all in all, the bones of this place was reasonable, but let's take a look inside and you'll see how weird it was. Okay, so as you come in the front door, we're looking back towards the front door from the living room. The stairways goes up. There's a little catwalk between the 2 bedrooms that are on the 2nd floor. It's just a small 2nd floor. This is mostly a 1-floor home. The master was on the 1st floor. From up on that catwalk, looking down at the living room, that's the picture you're looking at right now, and you can see there's a fireplace. You would never even know that fireplace was there, and you'll see a picture later of what we did to that fireplace. And of course, you go back into the back of the house or out to the patio through the doors there from the living room. Looking down towards the front door from the catwalk, right? Nice little parquet floor there, which did not make it. Another shot of the living room. Really a nice room. It's a main part of the house, kind of the hub of the house. Kitchen was very small, little eat-in kitchen, and it's up in the front of the house. The laundry room is off there to the right, and then the little seating area, and then the kitchen area. The back part of the house, which was added on to the original portion, had a hot tub and a, you can see there's a hot tub back there. There's a sauna back there. All of this was added on somewhere along the line in the life of this house. We made a big changes in the back of the house, and you'll see all those in a little bit. Okay, master bedroom. It's just a master bedroom with a little bathroom and a little closet back through that little hallway. Nothing fancy, not a very big room. We changed that. Let's go upstairs real quick. And Nate took this as his bedroom, across the catwalk, and into the bathroom. Thank you, Nate, for sitting down on the toilet and pulling your pants down for us. And then into the second bedroom that was up on that floor. And picture here looking out to the pool from Nate's bedroom on the second floor. Now we go down to the basement. The basement was finished. I built an office down there initially before we actually started rebuilding the house, and you'll see some pictures of that a little bit later on. Now this next picture came a little bit later, but I wanted you to see the first project that we did in turning that fireplace into a feature wall by putting up a mantle and this rock wall that was there. So you'll see this all finished a little bit later. And I think that is going to finish the first view of the house here in Loveland. All right, let's transition. This is a set of pictures that my good friend Paul Jakubowski took for me. He's a really talented photographer. And we actually used his pictures as the real estate pictures. And that's the only ones I'm going to show you right now. I will tell you that I've got enough video. I documented everything we did to this house from beginning to end over 6 years. And I have so much videotape, I could spend hours and hours just talking about building the kitchen or building the garage or what have you. So we've got lots of that, but suffice it to say that for this video, you're going to see the pictures that we used when we sold the Club Cocco in Loveland and moved to Florida. Okay, this first picture is what the front of the house looked like after it was completed. A little different, eh? We went from about 2,400 square feet to 5,200 square feet in this build, not counting the garage. This next picture will show you as we shift over. You can see the garage over to the left side. And what's nice about the way this garage was built, there was a hill on that side of the house. And we built the garage way back on the back part of the property at the bottom of the hill. So when you pull in the driveway, you don't even see the garage, right? You can see just a little bit of it there. But then as you pull around, you get to see the garage. 2,000 square feet, 40 by 50, 10-foot doors. Although now that would be too short. I wouldn't be able to get moose in there if we still live there. But beautiful garage, and you'll see a picture inside as we move on. I built all those walls that you're seeing. We had the same, Jake came and did all the rocks. We put up all the siding. We did a ton of work on this house. All right, and so we wanted to have a nice porch as well. So Ken, who designed the house for us, Kathy and I designed the floor plan, and we gave the floor plan to Ken, our architect, and he did the elevations. You'll see those in a little while. But part of that, what we asked for was we wanted a big wraparound porch, and so that's what you're looking at here, part of it. Mahogany, tongue and groove mahogany wood. It runs all the way across. That door on the far end goes into the kitchen. The front door is is on the left just ahead of that, and then of course the windows on the side of the house. So just a beautiful porch, great place to sit. You could sit in a storm and watch the storm there. And then this is a straight shot at the entranceway as you walk into the house. And then the door that we found was a leftover door at the Builder's Supply where we bought everything, and we got a super deal on this, and they delivered it, and just was a perfect fit for the house. And there's another window up above it, as you can kind of see from the previous picture. Let's take a look at the plans, okay, very quickly. So this is one of the early plans that Ken gave us. I think it was the very first plan. And he hit it so close to what we wanted to do that the end result of this was really pretty cool. But it wasn't this. You can see over to the left side by the garage. We were thinking initially about putting, another bedroom or something over there, but we never did. And I mean, you can kind of take a look here, and you can see how we designed the kitchen and the dining area. This was, again, it was an initial view of what we wanted to do, but not the final view, because we came up with what turned out to be the pivotal piece of architecture that connected the living room, which you can see there, which is the big square on the upper left, and the dining room, which was the kitchen, breakfast area, laundry room, and entrance to the garage originally. All right, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Another key piece of this whole build was the connector between the garage and the house, and this again is the very first look at how that was going to. Last one to show you here. This is our lot, and how the house fit on the lot. You can see the long panhandle lot, and then it expands and goes over towards the road. Nice piece of property. I think it is a little over a half acre, not an acre and a half. I can't remember. Whatever it is, it was a nice piece of property for being in the suburbs. Okay, now we're going to go inside the house. Honestly, I have to tell you, we did a beautiful job selecting materials on this house. Kathy and I collaborating on this house. The first design decision that Kathy ever let me make, and it was a big one, is here, and you'll see it. I'll tell you about it right now so you can look at it as you go around. When you look at the trim around the windows, the trim around the windows is a darker color than the window box itself. The window itself was two-toned, and that was my idea. And Kathy thought it was a good idea, and I really appreciated that, because I think it gave some personality to the house. Not big on getting 45s to fit together, so I did all Craftsman style trim around the doors, as an example, in the windows. So what you're looking at here is the vestibule. As you walk in, the $70,000 sentence was, as Kathy looked at those initial plans, said, can we just move this out about 6 or 8 feet so we'd have room for a pantry and a vestibule? The answer was yes. This is the result. Pantry's on the other side of that wall you're looking at right there. What a beautiful place to walk in and be engaged in this rebuilt home. As you walk in one direction, you're going to see the dining room. Now, this is, and you can see the front door there, and you can see part of the kitchen over to the left. This was the old kitchen, and it became part of the walkthrough. And what we did, and I think you'll see it in a later picture, just behind me here, we put a wall in, a diagonal wall of 45, that gave us enough room to open up the archway that you see part of to the kitchen, to the front vestibule, and behind me back to that big living room area. Okay, this is a view looking from the kitchen back through the new kitchen, right? You haven't seen that yet. The new kitchen, looking back through what turned into the dining room. Remember, this was the kitchen, laundry, and breakfast area. And then you could see straight through to the living room, and that cut through that connected these two rooms, the kitchen, which led to the old kitchen, which led to the new kitchen where the garage was, and the living room, made a flow for this house that was brilliant. We stole it from one of the architects we interviewed, the guy we didn't even really particularly care for, but it was his idea, and it was a brilliant idea. Now, we're in the living room looking back at the front door, back at the catwalk that is between the two bedrooms up front. You can see my equipment closet that I built right there, and the entrance that used to be the entrance to the kitchen. So you'd walk in the front door and you'd go straight into the kitchen in that direction. Now it's just the living room, and you can see there's a pillar there on the left that goes in towards the dining room and the new kitchen. But this living room took on a whole new meaning as part of the new house. Looking back from the new dining room back to the rest of the living room, you remember that initial picture with the fireplace? That fireplace project really was the inspiration for everything that happened afterwards, because we did it before we even started planning the house, right? And the boys helped me build it, and Jake and his guys came in and did the stone. Again, they did all our stone work. But it just transformed this room and gave it meaning, right? We burned a lot of wood in that fireplace. Now, the kitchen. We're standing in the dining room looking in to the pièce de résistance to this build. My 600 square foot kitchen I designed from the bottom up with Kathy, and we held nothing back. We put in so many windows, there are no upper cabinets. The island has a 4-foot walkway through. It's an L-shaped island, and all the counters have drawers below them that allowed us to put everything in drawers. When we went to Home Depot to order the cabinetry, we didn't even think about it. We ordered what we wanted. I had a special cabinet just for my mixer. You pull the mixer out and it lives there, and you put it away and it goes down under. Fabulous kitchen. Big high ceilings, fans, those big high fans. Now that ceiling goes all the way through to the porch, which is out by the pool. Same ceiling all the way through, same finishes, which really look good. Let's take another look at the kitchen. So if you're standing in the corner of the kitchen towards the pool, looking towards the front of the house, you can see the alleyway there, one of the two sinks. We had a drink refrigerator and countertops. My countertops are higher, especially in the island. I don't like bending over. And so that's the way we did it. Corner stove, all the electric got moved into a space behind that rock wall that's over by the stove, and there's an entrance from the outside so you can get to the electric closet back there. But I mean, the materials, just the way it came out, you can see the windows there with the two-tone. That was the idea we talked about before. At any rate, I loved cooking in that kitchen. We loved having people over. Let's take another look. This is down the other alleyway, coming towards or out of the, or no, you just walk in that front door. When you walk across the porch and come in that door, this is what you see. A refrigerator as soon as you come in, and the oven and the stove, and you can see my mixer stand and a place for root vegetables, and just beautiful. And the pantry. This, again, is all part of the $70,000 sentence that got us a porch in the pantry where we pushed the front end of the house out. This pantry was a dream. I built all the shelves, and we just stocked it up, and you could walk in and you had all this room to be able to find stuff and store stuff. And the door, you can see just a piece of it there. It says pantry on it. It was pretty cool. Okay, so that was my kitchen. I miss that kitchen. I'll tell you, I miss it a lot. Let's go back into the back room, because we made big changes back there. we're not sauna people, so we never used the sauna, and we had a dozen birds when we moved up here. So we turned that sauna into an aviary, and you can see it there. It has a window in the front, a door in the side. We took the hot tub out. We had a platform there for whatever reason, okay, and because I didn't want to pull it all out. It's pretty wood. And I put another window on the back of the aviary so that the birds could get a feel of being outside. It brought such an ambiance to this house to have all those birds making noise back in that area. And then back here, my office ended up on the other side of the wall where there was a bedroom before. And then the cut through and the laundry and all the rest of that is back as you walk towards the garage. So as you're looking at this picture, the garage is, you take a left-hand turn and you walk out to the garage. Here's my office that got built during this project. Now, as you can see, the desk goes back into a little alcove there. That's the edge of the original house. So everything beyond that is new, right? And the space in between the garage, which was a new build, and the house, which was this wall, gave me space to make my office a little bit bigger. Okay, it's a great office, wrap around, stand-up desk, 42 inches. It had room for everything. So it was a bedroom turned into the office. A little different view of the office, looking back into my little spot there where I sat all the time. Window looks out to the back of the house, and then that nice kind of park view of the people behind us. And of course you can see all the Corvette memorabilia that's in there. The master bedroom got a remake, and that's where we're going next. This is the same exact space, so it hasn't changed at all in terms of the space, but Kathy said she wanted pocket doors, so this is a load-bearing wall where you see the two pocket doors, and I had to brace that whole wall up so I could rebuild the whole thing to put the pocket doors in. She was so right. Master bath is through there, and then the hallway that goes back out to the living room are those two doors. This is the master bathroom. This is Kathy's side. This used to be a bedroom in the front of the house. The porch is to the left through that window, that wraparound porch. There's room for a tub standing right kind of where I took this picture, but we didn't put a tub in because we're not bath people, okay? So this was Kathy's place. Look at the corner over there. You see that right corner? I put the coffee bar there. Why? Because we drink coffee in the morning. So I'd get out of bed, I'd walk in here, make coffee, we'd sit and drink coffee, and then go on for the day. Now we're going to see my space. There's my space. Now this little space here is part of what was the guest bathroom, where we closed off the entryway, put the shower there, and then my cabinetry, and then the toilet stayed where it was. And there's the shower. So the shower was a really nice 5x5 and all tiled up, and it was just a beautiful. I did that floor with the rocks, and I made my own pan, and for the shower pan and all the rest. On the other side of the bedroom, this is the same closet that we had, but we rebuilt it and we put a closet in there. Now, our bathroom, I'm standing in what was our master bath, and I'm giving this idea to Paul, absolutely, because we put the laundry in the back of the house, in that space between the garage and the original house, right? That's where we put the laundry. But the idea was open up the wall where our bathroom was, because we moved the bathroom to the front of the house, tear out the bathroom, and our laundry is literally out this room and into the new part of the house. So we'll show you the laundry here in a minute. Here's another picture of the master. Okay, and that door is the door that goes out to the or into what is that door? Wait a minute. Yeah, that's the door that goes to the closet and then out to the back. Here's the laundry room. So you literally walk out what used to be the master bath, which is a little hallway now next to the closet, and you step down one, and the door to the laundry room is right there. This beautiful laundry room we had, cabinetry and everything. Now I don't have a picture of it, but to the right here is a second room, which corresponds to that little space in my office. Remember the little where I sit in my office, and that could have been a perfect secret room because you could put a bookshelf up in the doorway there, and you'd never know there was a room back there. Good idea for whoever owns that house now. All right, so that's the laundry room. Another quick look at when you walk in the front door. Probably ought to move this one closer to the front, but we'll leave it here for now. And we redid all those railings and had a real nice entryway. Now, we're going upstairs, okay? The whole roof came off of the house, and we had a whole new roof, so we were looking through to the sky. And as that was going on, Kathy walked by this upstairs bathroom, and she said, we really got to do something with this bathroom. I didn't even argue. I just tore everything out, and we redid it. If you look closely at this mirror, I built this mirror out of scrap. It's the exact same dimensions as all of our windows, stained the same way, except upside down. That's the mirror that I put in there. Okay. One of the bedrooms. No, you sit down right here. Oh, see my dogs, they're trying to escape. Stay there, Mike. One of the bedrooms, upstairs, the bathroom's there, the catwalk, and then Nate's room over on the other side. That's the upstairs. Let's go out to the pool area. Got a couple of shots there. I'm going to wrap this thing up. Standing out at the pool, looking back at the house, you can see the extension of the kitchen coming out. That big high ceiling gave us a beautiful place to sit and hang out. You can see the crosswalk that's inside the house, those sliding doors that are over kind of in the center of the picture, and then the living room is over there to the right side of the picture. We built a lean-to for our hot tub and put that in. If you turn around from the hot tub and you look out the backyard, the air conditioners are there. The window in the corner there is that window that's in my office that I look out at. That's the back end of the garage there. And if you turn around, beautiful look at the kind of park view and the stream. This is in the back side of the house. This is actually our neighbor's property back there. And one of the last pictures is going to be inside the garage, okay? This got termed the Garage Mahal by one of my neighbors. It's 12-foot walls, 16-foot at the peak, under the drop ceiling, 40 by 50, no poles. Kathy, for retirement, bought me a lift, which I since have sold. Because we don't have space anymore. Well, I don't have a home anymore. But this was going to be retirement heaven, and we had a couple of my buddies bring their Corvettes in. Well, one buddy, that's Paul's Corvette on the lift, and then my pickup truck that Patty owns now, and the two Corvettes I had at the time. But the workbench back there is 16 feet, two 8-foot sections back in the back, and these big, gigantic storage areas, bathroom, all the water stuff was moved back here, right? The water softener and all the rest of that, water heater. So that's in that little square area, and then you see the door that goes up the steps back into the house. Another final picture here of the pond that Paul took. It was a great pond. We all shared it. We had a little dock. We stocked it with fish before we left, and that was kind of our gift to the neighborhood. Now, these next three pictures I got off of, there was a service that, it was Google or Microsoft or somebody was doing where you could get these satellite views. This is the look of the house when we were finished with it. If the original part of the house does not include you see that centerpiece towards the front of the house that sticks up high, that's the original part of the house, right? And if you carry that straight over, that's where the garage was at the top, and the living room there, and then their addition, and then that raised ceiling that's off of the garage, that's all new. And the garage is all new, and the front part of the house is all new, and the porch and everything. So we've got 2 other views from different angles. This is looking towards the front of the house. And this one is looking at the side of the house from the pond. I am so glad I don't own this house right now, because whoever has to replace that roof is going to have to sell the house to get enough money to replace it. There are so many angles on there. There's so much roofing. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Anyway, so that's the house. That's Kathy during the time where we were doing this rebuild. God, I miss you, girlfriend. We had some fun, didn't we? We did a good job. And that's me during that particular point in time. Corporate look going on there. I think we were at Daytona. Didn't make it through the whole race. It was too hot and too noisy for me. But there you have it. So that was Club Cocco in Loveland, Ohio, suburb of Cincinnati. 17 years we were there. 6 years to do the rebuild. We lived in it for 2 or 3 years before we moved in retirement back down to Florida. It was definitely our favorite home. The project was such a passion project for the 2 of us that it chokes me up just to think about it. So the longest video I've done. I don't expect anybody made it to the end. Don't really care, because it's not for you, right? All of this, remember, are for my ancestors, so you can see the kind of life we were leading back here in the time we were alive. So just remember one thing: I got nothing to say. Uncle Orly